What's good? What's good? This coffee is really good, you know? And I like to joke that I like my coffee like Kim Kardashian, light brown and full bodied. I am going to heck, I know. But anyways, I was wrong. I can admit that. I thought that Tulsi Gabbard was a genuine, honest, patriotic person. But it seems that I was wrong. And it kind of sucks to admit it, but we have to admit when we were wrong. I legitimately thought she was going to be a great counterforce in the Trump administration. Like, I thought she went into this role knowing she was going to be pushing back against Trump a lot. Excuse me. And I thought that she took that role with honor and courage. But apparently, I think she had ulterior motives, and they're becoming clear. And this is so, like, weird to say, but I think she's just, she has a vendetta against sort of the Clintons and the Obamas, and she's using her position to seek retribution for how she was treated almost 10 years ago. It's so wild. Yeah, Bernie Sanders was running in 2015 for the 2016 ticket, right? And she supported him, and then the DNC backstabbed him, and they backstabbed her, and I get why she has the grudge, but it's really unfortunate that it seems like she's held on to it, and instead of really fighting for America, she's fighting for her ego. And I want to be wrong here, like double wrong. I want the future to yield some results that prove she ultimately had the best intentions. She just had to do some tactical and strategical moves, but I don't think that's the case. You know, she also fell in line with the weapons of mass destruction line, and she's been, I don't know, pretty quiet about Gaza and Israel and that whole thing. I don't talk about it a lot because it's really fucking sad, partially, to be honest. But also because I like talking about the root of these problems, the corruption that permeates all of our governments, all of our institutions, all of the planet. We are living in a global authoritarian system that is showing its true colors. It's not that it's just now taken hold. It's just that it is very difficult to maintain tyrannical control over a population. And you can do it subtly at first, but over time, as the mask slips and people wake up, you just have to become outright more authoritarian and direct about it. And that's what we're experiencing now. And we also have the whole technocratic element coming into this as well, which is going to make their jobs as authoritarians so much easier. I'm not trying to make you afraid for the future, because ultimately, go watch my video from the other day. We have a way out. We have a path out. We're going to build the new earth. But we have to do so still keeping tabs on the technocrats. So that's why I try to stay somewhat informed still, while building my plan of buying 10 acres and contributing to an intentional off-grid society. And it gets even crazier, where I think we're going to still engage in trade with the big cities, but we're going to have to do so and I could just be romanticizing this, but I think we're going to have to do underground railroad type of trade lines, because we won't be allowed, or it would be a risk for us to go into the city, and the city's not going to want to let people come and go easily. That's something to think about. Like, imagine your ability to travel is heavily restricted. It's already somewhat restricted, but it's going to get worse. And so, yeah, it's the future's scary, yes, but in that scariness, we have an opportunity to rise to the occasion, to be courageous, and to resist and persist. So let me circle everything back here. Thank you for listening. If you've stayed so far, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Check the description for links to get merch or to support me in other ways, because my goal is to just pioneer sort of this not the whole intentional community thing, because there are a lot of different ideas of how to do it, but I would like to pioneer my own personal sort of contribution. I want to create an intentional community. I want to be a part of one. So, and I don't want to be like a leader of one. I just want to help be a part of one. And that's sort of what I'm seeking. I am, or I will be a leader in some ways, but we all are. That's the key about building a good community, is that different people are leaders in different capacities. That's what enables things to run efficiently. When you have proficient people doing what they're good at, and you are encouraging and resourcing them. Anyways, okay, let's wrap up the video. Nobody's going to get arrested. Sure, there's all this talk about Obamagate and the Clinton scandal. Man, they have so many scandals dating back to maybe late 80s, early 90s, but the Rose law firm that Hillary was... Anyways, we're getting off subject, but they're extraordinarily corrupt. But it's all of them. That's the problem. And nobody's going to get arrested, because it would be so... I don't want to say unfair. There's a better word, but I just can't find it right now. But it would be ridiculous to arrest like 1 to 4 guilty people out of thousands. It would cause an uproar of sorts, I believe. It's kind of like why they're not releasing... Yep, they're not doing anything about the Epstein thing. Because it would take all of them out. The entire system would crumble. And if you don't quite believe that yet, but you're close, let me just sort of just posit this to you. Would you want a system predicated upon pedophilia and blackmail to persist? Or would you rather let it collapse and we, the working class, can absolutely rebuild without them? We don't need them. They're called the parasite class for a reason. They need us. And that's the key, is why we must divest away from them. When we remove our energy, literally, our energy, our human capital, and what it can create, they can no longer exploit us. And I've heard things talked about like loosh energy. That's a fun subject, but that's not where I want to focus. I would encourage you to look into it, because it's fun to just research that other stuff. But you can just say human capital, which is a tangible thing. My body, this is human capital. And then the brain, what it can create is infinite and limitless. So you have a physical and a mental capacity to create. They steal that energy, and we're going to steal it back. Good spot to end the video. Thank you very much for watching. Much love.